Hi guys, today I'm back with the Scraplift Saturday video. This is our inspiration piece for the week, and this is the layout that we're scraplifting. It was made by Marcy Penner, and I got that picture off of her blog. So if you'd like to check it out, her blog is just marcypenner.com, I think, but you can look up Marcy Penner and get to her blog pretty easily. So here is the picture that I'm scrapbooking. It is actually a picture of me when I was about 1 year old. So I wanted to scraplift this layout because I really liked the simplicity of it. It had a lot of die cuts on it, but it was just kind of simple. They were kind of laid out in a grid-like pattern, and not a whole lot was going on with it. It wasn't a lot of layering, and it was just, like I said, one kind of layer of material. So I want to try something out just a little bit different than what I've done before. And Nicole is also going to be doing a Scraplift Saturday of the same video, or of the same layout. So make sure you check out her video after this one if you have not already done so. So this is using the Crate Paper collection, and I cannot remember the name off the top of my head, but I'm going to show you a close-up of the collection label here in a little bit, so we'll be able to see it together. But first, what I did was I just took a piece of white cardstock from my stash, and I added this little strip of paper across the top, and I sewed it down with my sewing machine. A lot of the elements, or pretty much all the elements in the Scraplift page, are all sewn down on the page. And what Marcy did is she used an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, and I'm just using a 12 by 12 to get a little bit more die cuts and things on the page. So here I'm just taking the border sticker sheet, and it was having some issues with the adhesive, or not adhesive, but the little dots that were there, and I wanted to get those all out, so I kind of spared you watching me do all that. And I just glue that border down, and that border blue color is going to bring in the title later on. You're going to see that I'm going to use this kind of thickers that have kind of a linen texture, or I don't know, kind of a, maybe not linen, but just kind of a fabric-y texture, and it's that kind of color, so I wanted to bring in that blue. So I'm just going to take various stickers and die cuts and things like that from the collection, and anything that's a sticker, I'm using my EK Success powder tool to take off the sticky, and this allows me to kind of move it around the page without it sticking down and me ripping up the page. And in this case, I probably really wouldn't be moving it much after I set it down, but because I'm going to sew it with my sewing machine, I didn't want to get my needle all gunked up with the glue, so I thought adding this powder on the back would kind of help that the needle and things from sticking. And all of these stickers are in that Crate Paper kit. So I have the stickers, and then I had already put a few die cuts, but I'm going to go back to that die cut sheet here and pull off a few more pieces. I'm going to use this little lunchbox, and I'm going to use the number 1 to represent the fact that I'm 1 in this picture. I am also going to use the little numbers across the top and a little circle flower. I'm going to also use this little girl. The circle flower is actually going to go down at the bottom, and you'll see me punch that out probably a little bit later. Now I'm going to have the chipboard piece look at the chipboard piece, and this one is called Sidewalks. Oh, and here's the Crate Paper collection. It's Emmy's shop. So this sticker sheet that has the chipboard is from October Afternoon, and like I said, it's called the Sidewalks collection, Chip and Stick. And I'm using just the little kind of label, blue label, cream colored, and then the little button that has some type on it, or some like handwritten look to it. So now what I am going to do is glue all the little pieces down on the layout so that I can sew it down. Oh, actually, sorry, before I do that, I'm going to add a little bit to the bottom. I thought the bottom was a little plain, and I wanted to add a little bit of extra color to the bottom. I don't believe on Marcy she has anything down there, but I wanted just to add just a little something. So I'm just going to cut a few thin strips of the paper that I've used on the page just to add a little extra down at the bottom. And I'm also going to sew this cluster too. And in a second here, you're going to see that I'm going to try to use a tag, and it's just not going to work. I don't really like the cream with the white. The cream that's in the October Afternoon chipboard pieces doesn't bother me, but when I try to use this cream tag here in a minute or two, it's just not going to work. So here I'm going to punch out that little yellow circle with the flowers on it that I was telling you about, and it kind of blends in, and that's why I was trying to use this tag. But I don't know, these were just even more cream, and this is lighter, but I don't know, for whatever reason it just bothered me having that more creamy color there. So I'm going to ditch that idea, and I'm going to look at some of the other stickers on the sticker sheet, and I'm going to choose a little tab here, and it's going to be a pink colored tab. So there, I'm going to stick it right there. And on that, I'm going to write the year, and this was 1978. So it was quite some time ago. And I'm just going to use my Sharpie marker in brown to add something. And I'm just going to doodle a little bit. I wasn't as centered as I liked it, so I just kind of added a little extra doodles and things like that here on this strip, and then I'm going to do it on the top as well, just to bring that in. Not too much, but I just didn't want to make it look so, I don't know, obvious that the words were right there and that was the only thing with the brown pen. So I'm going to glue all these down, and that's going to allow me to go over to my sewing machine and sew these pieces down. And I'm going to show you a close-up here in a second. There you go. And this is what it looks like all sewn. And later on, I'm going to kind of pull up the edges so they don't look so flat, and I'm going to do that at the very end. Next, I'm going to put some tape on the back where I sewed, and I wanted to show you guys what that looked like, just the back. And I use the tape so that the little strings and stuff don't pull out, and then that way it looks clean on the front, because I wanted the little strings to be kind of hanging off and looking a little extra on the page, and that's why I wanted to put the tape on the back so that they don't pull all the way out if they got like tangled or while you're putting it in and out the page protector, things like that. Next, I am going to get ready to put the picture down, but then I'm going to decide that I want to add a little extra something to the page, and I'm going to pick out 2 spray mists. The first spray mist is going to be from my stash, and it is the Heidi Swapp Color Shine in bronzer, and I'm going to show you a close-up of that. This first one that I'm going to use, though, is a mist that I made up with some tea dye stain. It's like a dry powder that you just add water to. I got many moons ago. I think I've made that one bottle. That one bottle lasted me forever, and I have a whole other little jar of these little tea crystals. So what I need to do is try to like get them out and just play with them on a page sometime. I think that might look kind of cool on a page. So after I get those down, I'm going to pull out that bronzer and use that next. And there's the close-up. Like I said, it's Heidi Swapp Color Shine. And I like this one too. It's still got that brown, but then it gives that kind of goldish brownish color as well with the since it's got the shiny specks in it. So I like kind of the contrast between the duller brown of the first spray with the shinier brown of the second spray. I'm just going to clean up my work surface so I don't get any of those extra drops that fell off onto the mat on my page. I'm going to clean that up, dry it up, and then I'm going to dry the page just so I don't smudge any of those little dots, because I probably would do that if I didn't clean it up or dry it up with the heat tool. And once I get this all dry, I'm going to add that picture back on, just right there. And this is where I'm going to start working on the title, and I've already pulled out the title, and like I said, I used this thicker font that kind of had a fabric-y texture to it. And then these little yellow stickers are from a Simple Stories collection, and I'm going to show you a close-up of what that looks like after I place all the letter stickers down. And I'm going to spare you watching me do this, so I'm going to fast forward here in just a second, and then you'll be able to see the collection from Simple Stories that the stickers came from. So there I go, I stick everything down. I'm going to add the little dot to the top of the eye, and then I'm going to show you a close-up, and it is the Daily Grind set from Simple Stories. And now I'm going to place those stickers. And again, I'm going to speed this up so you don't have to watch me, and I'm just using my fine liner bottle and my Scotch Quick Dry to add these on. They were not sticky at all. They were falling off on in the package, so they're all like kind of loose in the package. So I definitely knew I needed to have some glue on these, and that really helped. They'll really help to keep it on. And then I also used some of the asterisks that came in the kit to add a little bit extra throughout the page, so that texture of the fabric would be throughout the page, just, you know, to kind of bring your eye across, and it didn't look like that was the only place. So now I'm going to show you a close-up, but like I said, I wanted to flip up the edges of some of these die cuts, so I'm going to do that after I show you the close-up. But I forgot. I almost forgot. This is the stamp I used. It's from Pebbles, and I am just using my name in a couple places, and then I am going to write first, or year one or 1 year. So I'm gonna do that a couple different places too. This stamp is from Pebbles. I got it a long time ago. Sorry about my dog's collar if you heard that. I got it a long time ago in a Studio Calico kit, and I barely ever use it because I always forget about it, but it is really good when it comes to little phrases and stuff that you want to stamp, and the font is really tiny, so it's perfect. So I just used my Stampin' Up! Chocolate chip ink to get that down, and like I said, here's the close-up so you can see where I wrote 1 year, and then you're going to see where I stamped my name a couple times, just doing that multi-generational stamping. So I just stamp it once, then stamp it a couple more times to give the different looks to that. And here is where I'm actually going to be folding up the pages in pieces. So I want to thank you guys so much for joining me. Make sure you check out Nicole's video if you haven't already. If you want to play along and use this inspiration piece or the layout that we used, you can do so over on our Facebook page at the Crafty Maven Getaway. All the links will be below, and if you're interested in checking out my channel, I have links to my channel down below as well. And I want to thank you guys so much and hope you guys are having a great day. Until next time, I will talk to you later. Thank you. Bye.